Yeah, guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I want to just talk a little bit about what I heard about the new end. I mean, the alternate ending of Rise of Skywalker and what it was going to be called and what was the original plan when Colin Trevorrow had a hold of it and not J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams' version was the one that we got. It was the Rise of Skywalker. It was Rey being a Palpatine, and it was um, the redemption of Ben Skywalker and Palpatine coming back to face Rey. But that's not what we. That's not what Colin Trevorrow wrote in his script. What Colin Trevorrow wrote in his script, now that it's coming out on Reddit, was something totally different. For one, Rey was not meant to be a Palpatine. She was not meant to be a Solo. Her name was meant to be Solana, and it was supposed to be revealed that Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren killed her parents, and that's why she was on Jakku. It had nothing to do with Palpatine. As she becomes strong in the Force, she'll begin to realize that Palpatine killed. Excuse me, that Kylo Ren killed her parents, the Solanios, and then towards the end, Kylo will redeem himself, but he'll redeem himself after he finds out that his mother has passed away, similar to what the real one did, but just uh, without Palpatine, no Palpatine needed. And we were supposed to have a lot of Force ghosts. We, we knew from the J.J. Abrams cut, we were supposed to have a lot of Force ghosts surrounding Rey, and instead of the voices of Samuel L. Jackson, Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, and stuff, we were supposed to have them in the movie surrounding Rey, forming a Jedi shield around her, just like Palpatine had the Sith shield. She was supposed to have the Jedi shield, and at the last minute they nixed it. They nixed it because China didn't like the idea of having ghosts. So they allowed the ghost scenes with Luke when Luke catches the lightsaber, but they didn't allow the other ghost scenes with the Samuel L. Jackson or Hayden Christensen. So we didn't get that. But the story that we got, story that was presented in Colin Trevorrow's rough draft was good. It was a lot more fighting scenes, a lot of Rey. She meets up with the Broom Boy from the Last Jedi, and they form a new Jedi Academy. So Rey's mission now is to rebuild the Jedi. I don't know if I agree with that because, in my opinion, the Jedi failed. They're always gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? So, in a way, J.J. Abrams' uh, ending was better than than what we was gonna get from Colin Trevorrow. I mean, J.J. Abrams just left it all buried and left because the thing was the end of Revenge of the end of Return of the Jedi. Luke did the same thing. Luke was gonna rebuild the Jedi Academy and was gonna start the Jedi all over again. But the same mistakes happened. You know, Snoke has still gotten into Kylo Ren. Snoke has still gotten into Kylo Ren's head. Snoke has started to manipulate Kylo Ren through his grandfather, and he destroyed all that Luke had built. So I don't understand how building another Jedi Academy would have saved that, because another dark side force would have came in and just destroyed it. Now, I think in this one they were going to teach the dark and the light. because says, "My teachers were wrong. I embrace the teachings of the dark side." Meaning Luke was wrong, Yoda was wrong, Obi-Wan was wrong, they all were wrong. And then she embraced the teachings of the dark side. So she embraced balance. But to me, I kind of like what we did get because her being a Palpatine, her being a Palpatine has her struggle with the being related to the greatest dark side user to ever exist in the galaxy. This was the dude who made Darth Vader. This is the dude who created the entire calamities in all of Star Wars. It only would take her relative. It only would take his relative to fix it. So it was a shoe in. It was a shoe. I mean, it was because like if you go back to Return of the Jedi again, Leia being a shoe in as Luke's sister, that was a shoe in. That was a shoe in storyline. People didn't know that. The idea was supposed to be that it was Luke. He fights Darth Vader. He fails to defeat Darth Vader. And he fails to defeat Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. And then he doesn't win. And then there's a sister across the galaxy that 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 fights. Uh, Not Leia, but at the last minute, Lucas didn't want to continue making no more Star Wars movies, so he put he put he put Leia as the sister of Luke at the last minute. Even though in the first movie you kind of see like Leia and Luke kind of have this love interest thing where they kind of will they won't they type thing. Even in Empire Strikes Back when they kiss each other. So it's like, yeah, right. You knew all along they were brother and sister. I don't think so. It was shooing. Even Vader being the father of um of Luke at first was not that. The original plan was that Vader was a student of Obi-Wan and a student of Luke's father, and it was Luke's. It was Vader who destroyed Luke's father, just like how Obi-Wan had told him. It was Vader that killed your father, so it was Luke seeking revenge on Vader for killing his father. Then eventually Vader becomes Luke's father, and then eventually Leia becomes his sister. So they had to work around it, just like with this. Rey was originally written to be Luke's daughter. Then they said that was too obvious. So then she was written to be nobody. Then they can't just have her be nobody because this is a Skywalker saga. Okay, how is she so powerful? You have to explain how she's so powerful. So you make her Palpatine. Then you make her whole struggle different, kind of akin to Luke's. Because now she's like the new Luke. She's struggling with will she become evil like her grandfather? While Kylo Ren is struggling, will he become, will he redeem himself like his grandfather? So you have the grandkids going at it. Her representing light from a dark side background, him representing a dark from a light side background. You know, I like that better than her just seeking revenge for the death of her parents. Okay, she's seeking revenge for the death of her parents, but why though? Who were her parents in the galaxy? You know, were they rebels? Were they gonna stop the First Order? Doesn't say. So linking her to Palpatine makes sense, in my opinion. Giving her the Skywalker name, I don't know about that. because she's not a Skywalker. You know, I would have said Rise of the New Order or something like that, because he could have killed her grandfather and sat on the throne and started a new order. You know, started a new a new way in the galaxy. You know, used his powers for good. You know, what I would have loved to see is like, I know they wouldn't have did this because it's Disney and they don't want to end on a sour note. But what I would have loved to have seen was like uh, when the lady asked Ray, "Who are you, Ray?" and she says, "I'm Ray Palpatine," and then she blasts her with force lightning like this. You know, that would have been funny. "Who are you, Ray? I'm Ray Palpatine," and then she turns evil. It ends in evil mode. That would have been cool because you never saw that in the Star Wars trilogy. You know, I'm Ray Palpatine, and she blast. It's just like now there has to be another hope because evil is one. Because remember what Snoke said, Last Jedi: darkness rises and light to meet it. Darkness rises and light to meet it. So the darkness has risen in Rey. She's the embodiment of the darkness. And Kylo is the embodiment of the light. Kylo's grandfather was the chosen one. He was the one that was destined to bring balance to the Force. But instead, he gave the light to Palpatine's descendant. So it's like I no longer look at Rey as the hero anymore. I look at Kylo as the hero and Rey as the villain. Because what Kylo was trying to do was destroy Rey. Right? From the very beginning, he was trying to destroy Rey and trying to bring Rey into his fold. If he'd have done that, uh, Rey wouldn't have been able to harness her evil in the galaxy like she did. You know, so I think the biggest mistake, the biggest mistake, still been sick, guys. The biggest mistake they make is they don't have they didn't have Palpatine reveal um they didn't have Palpatine reveal that he was raised grandfather early on in the trilogy. Like they could have done that in the Last Jedi. Like the scene when she's in the mirrors, when she jumps in the water and she's in the mirror and she sees a whole bunch of like herself, like reflections back at herself. And she could have seen Palpatine, and then she could have went to Luke, and Luke could have been like, you know what? Yes, it's true. You know, you're a Palpatine. You're the last living descendant of Palpatine to carry on his bloodline. So at least she could have had some time to mull that over, and she could have had some time to see that in herself. Where just whereas her journey could have paralleled that of Luke's and Anakin's. Because in Luke's and Anakin's, right? Uh, when Luke found out that he was the son of Darth Vader, he ponders it throughout the whole end of Empire Strikes Back. He wonders if it could be true. When uh, when Anakin finds out that he has these anger issues and that he loves Padme and that he'll do anything for Padme. And then he starts seeing in dreams Padme's dying. He grapples with this in the second film in Attack of the Clones. He starts seeing his evil potential and he grapples with it. So in Luke's case, he doesn't give in to his impulses and become like Vader. In Anakin's case, he does give in to his impulses and destroys the Jedi to save his wife. With Rey, she had no time to ponder anything. What she was pondering was whether or not she was nobody. But if they'd have told her that she was Palpatine in the second movie, then we would have been like, okay, yeah, she's a Palpatine. What's she gonna do with this information? Is she gonna turn evil, or is she gonna turn, embrace it, or is she gonna run away from it? That doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like by the time she finds out she's the Palpatine, her choice is already made. You know, like that was my biggest thing with it. It was like it's a good idea. It's an idea I wanted. It's something I wanted. When I started watching the new trilogy, I said people were like, "Oh, well, she should be a Kenobi. She should be a Palpatine. I mean, Luke Skywalker's daughter. She should be reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker." I said, "No, she should be a Palpatine because how cool will it be? The grandson of Darth Vader fighting for the good. The grandson of Darth Vader fighting for the evil, and the granddaughter of Palpatine fighting for the good. I would have had her been redeemed, her redeemed. Have her turn evil in the Last Jedi. Last Jedi was all about subverting expectation, right? You wanted to subvert expectation, have Ray turn evil. How have Ray turn evil? Have her kill Luke Skywalker. That was the way to go. Have her kill Luke. And it could have been by mistake. She goes to fight Ben Solo. Luke knows she's not strong enough to fight Ben. He goes, he extinguishes himself out. She kills him. Or have her kill Leia. Have Leia die off screen. I don't know. But sorry guys, still a little bit sick. The way they did it left a lot of plot holes, a lot of unanswered questions. And the most interesting thing to come out of Disney Star Wars is not the Disney Star Wars itself, but the backstage stories. You know what I mean? What went on between Colin Travaro and Ryan Johnson? What went on between Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams? And what was the writing process like? And being that George Lucas is still alive, was this what George Lucas really wanted in his Star Wars movies? We know he didn't have a problem with a girl. We know he didn't. He wanted to make Han Solo black at one point, and I think they kind of succeeded by making Finn a black Han Solo, just less cool. You know what I mean? Like if Finn had led a rebellion of like a bunch of stormtroopers against fucking the First Order, that would have been cool. But he didn't, so he was just there. Anyway, I'm going to bed, guys. Love you. I just want to make that quick video. Oh, and I'm sorry about the Aaliyah video. I'm going to keep working on that. I don't really have enough stuff about Aaliyah that I really want to talk about. Really do it justice. Peace.